Okay, of course it's probably stopped, but this is the day that the Lord has made. Because it is late, it's Thursday night. I tend to stay up later on Thursdays, even though I gotta go to work tomorrow. It is actually thundering. It's probably lightning too, but I haven't been outside. I'm inside. I was making sure I didn't have any schoolwork due right now, so I logged onto my laptop for the first time today, my home laptop. My mind is just racing because I am going. Hey, Graham. I don't know if you guys will be able to hear the thunder in the background, but it is thundering away. Yesterday there was lightning, there was thunder, there was a little bit of rain. And I figured I'll go live for a little bit, see if anybody else is up late like I am. I know you and I are on totally different time zones. My mind is just racing. There's a lot of things I want to do. Home projects that are going through my mind, cleaning, decluttering. I don't know where this is coming from, but I'm going with it. My son had to help me. And I will include it in my cleaning video that I post Sunday, but he was helping me do some stuff. Oh, it's 5:15 in the morning. Wow. What is the earliest time I've gone live? I think it was 5:30 a.m. Yeah, I'm looking up the silliest things. I I see people have those little covers for their straws, and I'm like, I want one. That makes sense to me to have it covered. It's 1 o'clock where you're at, so you must be in New York along or that coast. What is it called along the East Coast? Hello, MEP. It's 9 o'clock where I'm at. But yeah, I'm sitting here looking at Amazon, writing down all the things I want to get done. And I drive myself crazy because I just can't sleep when I have all these thoughts on my mind. By the way, where is my pen? Oh, there it is. You should not swear, but thank you for subscribing. There's no need to swear. Okay, I want to do that. I want to paint. I finally want to paint because my house was brand new when I moved in. And they did everything with the cheapest product, cheapest carpet, cheapest paint. I mean, everything is cheap. So I need to paint my walls, actually go through with it and do that. I want to upgrade my baseboards. Now, I eventually wanted to change out the carpet, but I have to because I had a very small house fire upstairs and it ruined the carpet. There's maybe a 3x3 section upstairs. The carpet is burnt. What is that called? it is, it's like it's gone. It's been like that a year and a half, 2 years, and I just need to change out the carpet. Gives me a reason to upgrade the carpet. I want to do that before Christmas. Oh, my darling. Oh, my darling. Right now, I was doing something in my kitchen. So, there's been a problem in my... I don't know where you guys live at. You got the tent. Yes. Gotta treat ourselves. Good for you, Graham. Okay, so I don't know about your guys' kitchens, but my kitchen has a hole in the wall outside so that the air ventilates whenever you're cooking. I hope you guys know what I'm talking about. Well, the builders who built this house, they did a horrible job at doing the duct work and the taping of it, and so dust would come in for all the years I've lived here. Every time there's a dust storm, there's a lot of dust in my kitchen. It's embarrassing, and I knew it was there, and I should have taken care of it sooner, but I finally... Yes, a Hillerberg, expensive though very strong and great quality. Oh, your tent, that's what it is. I'm going to search that up since I'm right here by my laptop. And I'm thinking what I have to do is get a whole new cabinet piece above the stove, because there's all kinds of holes that probably were not done. They weren't done correctly. And so now there's big gaps. Okay, I'm looking right now. Graham, you got money like that? I'm kidding. Yeah, those are expensive. Wow. Interesting. I didn't know tents were this expensive. Yes, you are, Graham. Yes, you are. So, this is what I'm thinking. I need to buy a new cabinet piece. And then I want to move it up 2 or 3 inches. So, yeah, because I have this huge microwave. It doesn't look as big as it is until you take it down. That's why I needed my son's help. So he helped me take down the microwave. And then when I put it up, I need to put it up correctly because I installed it with my ex-boyfriend. He didn't know what he was doing. I didn't know what I was doing. So we didn't quite put it up correctly, so it was not supported the way that it should be. And then I'm going to do some other stuff. But I need to write all that down so that I can go to sleep tonight. I have to write down all my thoughts, all my ideas, so that I can sleep. Hey, Gunshar, I've not seen you in a while. How are you? Hello, Lockdown. Okay, so what's up is it is 9:30-ish where I'm at nighttime. There's thunder. And on a Thursday night, I don't know why, but I stay up pretty late, even though I have to go to work tomorrow. I think it's because I'm just so excited about Friday. You've been working like crazy, Gun Show. Well, I hope you'll be taking it easy this weekend. Like Dunnan likes thunder. If the thunder is really loud, it keeps me up. I remember one night I was sleeping probably pretty good, and there was the loudest thunder that made my whole house shake. My window was shaking. Isn't that weird how that happens? It woke me up and I was scared. Furious, I haven't seen you in a while. It will wake you up if close by. Graham says the sound of rain on my tent. He loves it. Thunder is preferred. I think it's just so amazing. Thunder, I think, is so amazing. Lightning fascinates me, but I do get scared. I do get scared. We had an advisory. Let me see if I can still pull up that notification. We had an emergency alert that there would be a dust storm warning. Does anybody get dust storm warnings where you live at? Or is that just out here where I'm at? Oh, furious. What times fit you? Tell me what time it is right now where you're at and what times fit. I know, I'm just all over the place. This YouTube is not a full-time job for me, so I just go live whenever I can. Like Dunnan said there was a death devil, but no advisory. My son, he has this. I bought him a laptop to use for work and whatnot, but he uses it to diagnose his car, his truck. He has an older truck. I don't know what kind of diagnostic tool he bought, but it has to plug into the car, plug into the laptop. And he went out there earlier, late afternoon, but earlier. And he came home and he said his laptop was probably fried and it just like froze. It was not doing anything because it was just too hot. But thankfully it cooled down and it's still working. Graham says, I'm looking forward to winter so I can get the hot tent out again. Oh, I bet you are, Graham. I'm looking forward to cooler weather so I can sit outside and enjoy the porch in the morning and at night. Oh, okay, so I'm going to write that down. For Furious's time, that would work better. I used to have my normal, usual people come on, and I don't know if it's the time, I don't know if they've gotten busy, but yeah, I don't see a lot of them anymore. Furious is one of them. I'm glad Graham is here. No, like Dunnan, it's something he does all the time. He goes for a ride, takes the laptop, and connects it. It's just it was too hot. We've been in a heat advisory watch also for, it seems like every day. Hello, Gerlenida. Less bugs in the winter. I'm all for that. Yeah, that's why I used to do live streams outside, but what do you call it? My threshold, if it goes above 80 degrees, I can't go be live outside because my phone, which is the device you guys are on right now, it shuts down because it's too hot. So I imagine the same thing happened with his laptop. Yeah, I'm glad you're still around, Gun Show. Like Denon smells like a snowman. I do too. Like I was sweating in the kitchen doing what I told you guys I was doing in there. My son went to help me. He's like, Mom, this is so dirty. I said, yeah, this is grease. Grease buildup. And he's like, don't you have electric tools? Because the microwave screw mount is like this long. And I was using a manual screwdriver, so it was taking forever. And I had my son holding it up while I did that. Sweaty and greasy. Oh my goodness. Brian, thank you for your comment. Lack Dunnan says my internal temperature gauge is just faulty and can't regulate well. I do better with under 80 degrees. So yeah, I'm sitting here writing my list of home improvement projects I am going to do. I'm going to stop saying I'll do it later. I'm going to stop saying it's not the right time, and I'm just going to do it. I'm going to prioritize, of course. The things I really want done are going to get done first. And then there's going to be things that can wait. Kitchen, cabinet. So I'm writing my list down. What happened? Oh, my laptop went. The Fahrenheit. Fury says, I heard about the extreme heat over there. I saw people frying eggs on their cars and others whose shoes were melting on the pavement. Yes, I hear people can fry their eggs. They can bake cookies. I haven't heard about shoes melting, though. Yes, that's true, right? Like, Dunnan, I don't know how to translate Fahrenheit to Celsius without asking my phone to do it. Oh, by the way, my coworker, who's a maintenance guy, he's fairly new. We were having a conversation yesterday about smartphones, watches, and I told him how, I don't even know why I said it. I was like, I want to get no, because he said he had 2 watches. I was like, I want to get a watch to track my steps, but I don't want to pay for data I don't want a data plan on a watch. So the next day, so we were talking about that. He's like, oh yeah, you can just use Bluetooth for so many feet from your phone. So the next day he comes in and he says, I have a gift for you. And I'm like, really? Okay. So he reaches in his pocket. He puts the watch like on my desk. And I'm like, he said, this is his old smart watch. And he has a newer one. I was like, are you sure? He's like, yeah. I said, well, thank you so much. And I was like, well, I think you can change up the band, right? Because it had the original band. And he's trying to pull it off. He didn't know how to take it off. And I'm glad he finally, because this was all getting messed up on the front. Like it was changing. He's like, what did I do? I don't think he even knew how to work his watch, but I'm so grateful and thankful. So right away I came home, checked spent way too long looking for a new band. And y'all, this is my new Apple Watch from my coworker. I got this band. I'm gonna bling it up with the case that I'm gonna be ordering next. I had to order the charger. I didn't waste any time. Okay, let's see. Was that near Yellowstone? I'm not sure. Where was that at, Furious? It was hot. Like a super volcano around here. Celsius was the original measurement, says Graham. Be checking on that, like Dunnan. Graham says centigrade. Actually, my bad, means the same thing. Furious says, I don't have that problem where I live. Even when it's hot, it doesn't go over 35 Celsius and it's humid. I would rather live where I live than be humid. Lip Dunnan says, I don't think I even said the name right. Yeah, some things measurement, like the sun, need that measurement. And Graham says, measuring the sun. Good luck with that. Melts before it can find its core temperature. And Furious says, your coworker is maybe a new suitor. Nope. Furious, nope. Like Dunnan says, guesstimations, they're more like guidelines. But yeah, I'm so excited about this. So if you have an Apple Watch, because I don't know about any other watch, there's a little tiny thingy that you have to push down and you slide out the band at the same time, and you simply slide in the new one. Yeah, there's a little tiny thing, you push it down and slide out. So I cleaned it really good and changed out, and it looks fairly nice, right? An Apple Watch definitely has. Look, Dunnan says catch release. Graham says, why even listen to guesstimations? It is fancy, right? My son's like, I like that for you. He's like, I like that for you. I'm surprised he said that because he doesn't ever pay attention to any of my stuff, y'all. He doesn't ever make any comments. But it was too funny because my son has an Apple Watch that his father gave him, but he doesn't use it. And so before this came, I asked my son if I could use his watch so I could track my steps. And he's like, nope. So I told the maintenance guy that too. He's like, now you can tell your son, you got a watch now. So my son, when he came home and I still had the old band on because I was trying to figure out how to take it off, he's like, do you have my watch? I was like, no, this is not your watch. I've got a watch now. Can you see? Oh, it's pretty cool. Yes, he is married. Apparently going through a divorce. I don't know. That's all I'll say. I don't know any other stuff. Good, Lenida. I saw that you had thunder. Yes, we have thunder. I don't know if you can hear it, but there's thunder in the background. Graham, same reason we listen to sermons in the Bible. We can only guess, but figure it's good enough for now. I guess at some point, okay, again, using the word guess, there's a baseline, right? And then they've used that baseline to measure your temperature and made it a fact. Furious says, okay, he's not a suitor. Yeah, everything has to start somewhere as a baseline, and then you start measuring from there. Being consistent. Really, reality is the fact. And then pretty much a mushroom kept in the dark and shoveled. Same with what facts we're allowed to know. Here says he gave you an Apple Watch to reserve his spot to keep you waiting while he signs those. I was like, are you sure? You sure you want to give that to me? Because he said he has a newer one. Apparently he said he bought this one for himself, and the newer one his wife had bought for him, so he's keeping that one. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's Thursday, so I'm celebrating Friday Eve by staying up late. Okay, I need another thing I'm doing. Not only am I making the list of my home improvements, I'm finally going to buy a regular size refrigerator. Well, actually, somebody said that they would give me theirs because they're going to change out their refrigerator. So I need to see what's going on with that. I need to get me some new, I want new couches. Graham says, I'm so anti-government, I don't listen to a word they say. Like Dunnan says, reality is the result of observation. Did you see how the facts were gathered? Like Dunnan, right, but what we know was all approved by them. A fact is, I have brown eyes. But who created the color brown? I don't know if that's where you were going with, like Dunnan. Like, who said this is brown? Graham says he's breathing fact, but what did the TV tell you was the truth? I try to conversate with each of you. Try to figure out what it is you're saying. Okay, Fury says, honestly, I don't know why. I give such a gift to a coworker. Even if she's coworker of the year, even if she cleaned the cafeteria microwave. I don't know why either. I'm gonna see how much this cost. It's an older watch, apparently. But how much does it cost? Oh. Okay. A used watch like I have is running about $100. That's still a lot. It is a lot of money. Even if she cleaned the cafeteria microwave. I don't know. Maybe he's that type of person. He's a giver. Because some people are like that. And then you've got people who take. I think I kind of fall in the middle. No, I don't like to take. But I don't always give either. So I guess I'm not sure where I fall. Hello, Gia. How are you? Like Dunnan says, nothing is free. Graham says someone believes the sky is blue and another believes the sky is green. Which one is stating a fact? Learn what a fact is. Oh, Graham. Okay, remember I told you how this maintenance man, before he was hired, he walked in at a moment that I had locked myself out of one of my office doors, and he unlocked it for me quickly. So I did buy him a breakfast burrito his first Friday on the job. I was like, thank you. This is a thank you for unlocking the door. Um, yes, you know, Vanessa, he's not that kind of giver. I don't know him, Furious. I'm getting to know him. Like Denon says, Graham, that is subjective. And Gia says, Dear Lord Jesus Christ, please take her, says Vanessa, under your shadow. Oh, is that a candle, Gia? A cross and a candle? He wants to try. Oh, goodness. The human eye, as fact, can only perceive a certain amount of spectrums of light. Yeah, some people are colorblind, right? So where does that play a role in this conversation? Black Denon says 23 out of what, hundreds? Ramon, it's been a while. I'm celebrating that it is Friday Eve. Ramon, aren't you the one who said you wanted to have a conversation with your supervisor? You really enjoyed your job. You were having a situation in your relationship and your child. How is that going? She says it is a candle. Graham says, I'm well aware of us being only able to see a small amount of what is out there. Ramon says it's still Thursday, and yes, we fixed it. Good, good. Yeah, it is. I'm calling Thursday Friday Eve. You know how there's Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve? This is my Friday Eve. Okay, Fury says maybe the maintenance guy still thinks the Mexican girl from accounting has a crush on him and gave him a so-called thank you burrito. Angelica, it's 6:46 where she's at in Germany. It is 9:46 p.m. where I'm at. People here must think I'm daft or something. This is funny. This is the thing, Graham, and I had to realize it for myself as well. I think everyone who comes on here, because they don't know you, they don't know me, they assume we don't know about a certain subject. And I just let them talk. Yeah. Because they don't know me yet. Like Dunnan says, and we can only perceive so much. Ramon says, Lord gave me strength to discuss the issue. Amen. Okay, fine, my best. But you asked. Fury says, is Apple Man good looking? He's not my type, Furious. I told you guys there was about 10 men that walked in for the maintenance position that came in person. There was a lot of people apparently that applied online, but they all didn't make it into the office. And out of the 10 men, I was not attracted to a single one. Graham says, go on waiting. And like Dunn and Graham, do you know what the deltas are or were? 11:47 for Ramon, because he's in Texas, right? Like Dunnan says, anti-gravity tech. And Graham says, what's the pineal gland and how does fluoride affect it? The pineal gland is in our brain somewhere. And I don't remember about fluoride. What's adrenochrome? Okay, yeah, look, Dennis says it's the gland in the frontal cortex. Nick is back. He's been making appearances quite often. I'm doing well, Nick. I'm doing good. I'm doing great. Furious. Um, Let me say this. It's usually me, but if my son is in trouble, I make him get out there. For instance, was it this weekend that passed? I think it was Saturday morning. I made him get up early. He didn't want to go out there. He just stood there for a while. We were outside, okay? He stood there for a good minute just looking at me. I said, "What are you waiting for? Go pull them weeds and throw them away." And he's like, "Why?" I said, "You know dang well why." And because I said so. So as we're having that conversation and that standoff, I was wondering if anybody was looking at us. But yeah, I don't pay anybody to do anything around here. I do it all myself. I don't even have grass. It's just weeds. I don't know about Delta. Delta Airlines. Delta as far as the pros. I don't even know. You really missed me, Nick. I've been here every day, every day. Graham says fluoride calcifies the pineal gland, hence why it is added to the peasant's water. Okay, this is something I learned from RFK Jr. Actually, I don't even know where I heard it, but it was on the news. That we have so much plastic in our system, in our brain. I mean, we're talking about fluoride, but what about plastic? I was shocked when I heard that information. Like Dennis says, loving this. I love intellectual discussions. I can tell you are 1 gram. That's good. I'm glad that you two are here at the same time. Graham says, oh no, it's to keep teeth clean if you ask the experts. Ramon says, going to sleep now. Good night, Ramon. Nick also has weeds. Oh, okay. So today I went somewhere, my son and I, and we had to go to a window and sign in. But before we even walked up, I was outside. We were just about to walk into the building. You could smell the marijuana weed bad. And I was like, who on earth smells like this coming to this place? So we get into sign, and the lady that in front of us that was already in the building, I guess she heard me. I was like, ooh, it smells. She's like, I'm sorry, it's me. She said she works at a marijuana place. She said, yeah, my car smells like this. I smell like this. She's like, it's horrible. She's like, but this is my job. So then we signed in and we went off. We went off to where we intended to go. And the smell was so strong, that marijuana. And I told the lady, I was like, I just want to let you know, we're not the ones that smell like weed. She's like, oh, don't worry about it. I know it's not you guys. Fury says, you did that little gospel singer neck roll when you said, you know. Furious, really? Furious notices everything. And Dinesh, yes, he's with all these emojis. Joaquin, hello. How are you? So then when we left, I was like, oh my goodness. I said, I must have been talking really loud that she heard me talk about the smell. Graham says, control your biology, for crying out loud. And Nick says, Vanessa, find a woman my age, please. Nick, let me say this. I gotta find me somebody first before I can help somebody else. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm talking about. Joaquin says, I'm good. How you been? I've been really good. I had my moment the other night, but I'm doing good. Furious is laughing, and Nick says he understands. Nick, I've already told you, you need to put a picture up or go to a dating app, put a picture up, put in your info to find somebody. Joaquin thinks I look good. Thank you. Grams is furious. He's all yours. The thunder has stopped. Let me look at my phone. Ooh, it says that there's rain. See, about an hour ago, there was no rain in our forecast. And so there's going to be rain through midnight. Sometimes when it rains, I don't sleep well. Oh well. Joaquin likes my smile. Nick says dating apps cost so much. There are free dating apps, Nick. They don't all cost money. Oh, there's the thunder. Okay, look, Dunnan is asking Graham about a book. Where's he gone anyway? Must have got embarrassed or something. Oh, Dinesh, he's gone. Dinesh just comes in quickly, puts emojis in, and then he's gone. Fury says, I'm with you, Vanessa. We'll deal with the social stuff later. First, let's find you a handsome Christian guy who holds doors. Amen. Bakes birthday cakes and gives out Apple Watches. Oh, goodness. Yeah. Black Dunnan says, I don't date. I cherish the other half of my finances too much. Oh, no. This is what I think. I think that I do well for myself. And if I have a husband, I will have almost double what I've got right now. Not that we would, but you know, just thinking 2 incomes instead of 1. Joaquin says, if you need dating apps, you need God. I am on a dating app, and I need God as well. Graham says, only book I've ever read is The Gruffalo. But you started to read the Bible, right, Graham? Joaquin says, because you have no game. Yeah, I don't got any game. You're right, Joaquin. Like Dunn says, what is the Gruffalo? Graham says, I'm joking, though. You take a look at the Gruffalo. Like Dunn in court won't see if it that way when she gets bored and wants out. Well, because I do believe in God and Jesus, I believe in marriage will be forever. I've never been married, but when I do, it's going to be forever. Joaquin says, not you. Like Dunnan says, the dating scene. Men that need dating apps. Oh, okay. Thanks for the clarification, Joaquin. Am I saying your name right, like Dunnan? Part of the Depop of Billy Gates. Graham says, can you show the screen a picture of the Gruffalo? Yes, I will. And I know I've looked it up before. I think I remember what it is. It's like a figure with scraggly hair. Gruffalo book. Oh no, this is what it was. Let me put down. This is the Gruffalo book that Graham was talking about. Okay, I'm pronouncing your name okay. Agenda 2030 encourages not getting together. Yep, World Economic Forum. Glad we are on the same page. You are saying it fine. It's the thought that counts. Lady Sky says Gruffalo will be her Halloween costume. Lady Sky, do you guys pass out candy in an apartment complex? I only lived in an apartment complex, well, not too many years, but I don't ever recall there being trick-or-treaters. Same frequency, says Graham. Like Dunnan says, yep, well, gotta take the L on that one. Ruffalo. Do you mind telling us your age? Anybody know my age? Oh, Joaquin's 41. We're close. Lady says we have a curfew for it. Oh, there is a curfew for trick-or-treating. I don't know if there's one here. Graham says 21. I'm in my 40s. Oh, this is a room on the broom type of book. Graham is 40. Lady Sky says, yep, start when the kids get out from school till 9. Yes, they usually start at about 5 o'clock trick-or-treating when there's still light. Okay, have you guys ever watched the Halloween movie? And it's like everybody decorates and it just looks so cozy. I wish I lived in a neighborhood like that. I almost did at one of my 2 places ago, but not quite. Furious says, I date with a woman once and I wasn't really in love, but she was very beautiful. We got to the restaurant and she just sat in the car. I had asked her, She was waiting for me to open the door. Furious, you're not a gentleman, or are you now? I'm gonna do that if I ever go on a date, y'all. If I ever go on another date. Graham is something else. Oh my goodness, Graham. Like Dennis says, but we are just getting to know each other's conspiracies that somehow turn out to be true. Furious says, I straight up told her, open your door yourself. That's not right, Furious. That was not right. Graham says they're not all like locked up, and Furious says, and then there was my wife. First restaurant date. I opened the door for her, and she goes, what are you doing? I've got hands. I can open it myself. Well, you had to figure it out, right, Furious? So she opens her own door. I love to see couples, young, old, whatever age, to see the man open the door for her to get in the car, to get out of the car. Lady says, we are allowed to dress up our doors for Halloween, but when it comes to Christmas time, we aren't allowed to put up Christmas lights. Oh, okay, so you guys are allowed to decorate the door. Graham says a feminist wife. Like Dennis says, it's valid. I can be clingy, but I know you gotta share so that it can critically think. And Fury says, this is about to disappear with feminism. I'm old-fashioned, y'all. No matter what year it is, I stay old-fashioned. Graham says critical thinking, not every day. Well, speaking of critical thinkers and whatnot, last week my son and I were talking, and he's like, Mom, when I'm talking to you, it's like I'm talking to AI, artificial intelligence. And I just started laughing. He's like, it's not funny. He's like, you are... He just said that I did not understand. Basically, he was saying I'm not of this world. I don't think like the world does. And I said, I don't want to. I'm a Christian woman. Well, that's fun, Lady Sky, because they're not allowed to decorate at all where I'm at. Like Dennis said, he can have fun with it. Joaquin says, love your crazy hair right now. Oh yeah, it is crazy, and I don't care. Lady Sky, what about the back? Graham! Graham! Don't get Lady started. Like Dennis says, it's a program to respond a certain way. Is that true, AI? When I talk to my son, I like to joke around to an extent. But most of the time, my son and I are having serious conversations that require Jesus to step in. So I'm quoting scripture with him. I'm giving him lessons about life because I want my child to be successful. Joaquin says people who talk to AI are not of this world. Lady says, I had a yummy lunch. With my friend today, we ate at Olive Garden. We both ordered the same thing. Ravioli with breadsticks and salad. Ooh, that salad and those breadsticks, they never disappoint. Thanks for updating me, lady. Because I know earlier you did talk about that. Like Dunnan said, it's just reading what you ask and responding based on programming. It doesn't actually think. I mean, that was just his way of saying I'm different. He wasn't literally saying I'm artificial intelligence. Graham says, I will start and finish. Like Dennis says, I'm glad it can't think, but worried it's programmed at the same time. Like Dennis says, did you know Skynet is an actual thing now? Go ahead, prove me wrong. Yep, lady, I have to be very careful around that Olive Garden bread. Joaquin says, what city do you live in? We built this city. I never say what city I live in. I just tell you that I live in Arizona. Graham says, Skynet, what a Mickey take. Fury says, I love it when you look at us over your glasses. Fury. Okay, so Furious is married. Obviously, he told you guys that. But he loves to give compliments. And I did not understand that. And I kind of still don't understand it. But it is what it is. Thank you, Furious. Oh, that's another thing I want to buy is a tripod that I can go sit in the cafe and do a live stream with you all. But I need a tripod. Look, Dennis's Terminator OG was made when? When did Kyle Reese say how long Skynet would come? And then become self-aware. Graham says it's like the movies are predictive programming or something and not just entertainment after all. You like the desert. Where do you live at, Joaquin? Let's see. Graham says he was a toddler. I'm wanting to look at something. What was I going to look at? Oh, 09. Remember? Yeah, I don't know what the Skynet is at all. Joaquin lives in Kansas City, but from Juarez, and I love the heat. Also, you were born in Mexico? Like, Dunnan, go into that rabbit hole. If you dare enter. Fury says, Joaquin, if you like the desert, does that mean you're crossing into the U.S.? Went well. Here it is. Okay, I'm gonna look up this Skynet. Shadow 420. Hola. How are you? Skynet. Okay, I did not watch that movie. Graham says first Apple computer sold for 66666. The forbidden fruit. Whoops, it's got a bite taken out of it. Furious says, sorry Joaquin, I love racist jokes, but I'm not racist at all. My son says I'm racist. That's another thing my child tells me. But I'm not. I just don't have a tolerance for ignorance. Doesn't matter what color you are. But it so happens to be the majority of one color around here. Graham says, that blows my mind. Shadow is good. I'm doing good too, Shadow. Joaquin likes racist jokes. Lick Dunnan says wow, and Graham says Bill Gates is the gates of hell. Oh, I know who that is. I know. Okay. Joaquin says, if we can't make fun of our differences, we suck. Yeah, I would rather laugh and enjoy life than be upset and mad and dwell on things I cannot change. Like Dennis says, Billy Gates, the moment he was... And Fury says, if Juan Pablo says so, there's no smoke without fire. You must have said something racist one day. No, I've experienced life. That's what I told my son. I was like, okay, when I was your age, I told the same thing to my mother. But when you go through life, you're going to know. You're going to know exactly what I'm saying. Like Dennis says, he stole everything, and Fury says, real talk, Joaquin. And Joaquin says, amen, sweetheart. Graham says, World Wide Web. Now you are trapped in it, though. Who's the spider? The interwebs, it gathers up everything and it rolls it up. Okay, this is what I'm thinking about the internet and data and all that. If it's, I'm not sure how to articulate this. Joaquin says God is with us regardless of race. Amen. Astro, how are you? Shadow says, I've lived life and experienced life, and it's mostly been with one type of rasa that I've had problems with. I think you know what I'm talking about, Shadow. Like Dunnan says, try. Astro says, what are we talking about? Well, first of all, I was talking about thunder because it's thundering here, but I don't think you guys can hear it. Then I was sharing how my coworker gave me his old Apple Watch, and I right away I was like, are you sure? You really sure you want to give this to me? And so I thanked him, and I couldn't wait to get home to order me a new band. So y'all, I've got an Apple Watch. Isn't it beautiful? And then now we're talking about different things. Lek Dunnan says, we shall help if possible. Graham says, Lek Dunnan, that's what social media platforms are about, collecting data. What is going on with my phone? Joaquin says, Jesus Christ lives. Amen. And Lek Dunnan says, as far as I'm concerned, anything that we are interested in talking about. Yep. Topic is all over the place. Who do you think likes me? Oh, the Apple Watch person. My phone is acting weird, you guys. Hopefully it does not shut off on me. Like Dunnan says, Graham, I'm still banned from Face Commie Book for another year. What is that? Graham says secret hidden cameras hidden in the frames of smart TVs. Oh, okay. So I avoid anything that is smart. I do have a smart TV, but I think that's all they sell now. Can you get a TV that's not smart? But yeah, I try to stay away from the smart stuff. This is driving me nuts. I don't want to lose this live stream, but my screen keeps flickering on my side. Did I tell you that a Mexican restaurant, the very first one, just opened near my place? Really furious. You'll have to tell me all the dishes you try. Phones, smartwatches, active listening and recording, and now they have all that. Red flag us instantly. This is what I'm thinking. There's so many of us that have smart devices. Who has the time to track anyone when there's so many of us? Do you know what I'm saying? Joaquin says, God is great. Amen. Astro says, not going to be here for long. Really exhausted after Thursday night prayer. Well, I'm glad you did come in, Astro. By design. And then Astro says, might head out right now. Jesus is king. Amen. Joaquin says, yes, thrift stores. Thrift stores don't have smart TVs. Like Dunnan uses an antenna TV, though you rarely watch it. And then Graham says smart is just wireless, and wireless can be controlled and hacked. Exactly. So some people have a smart door lock, right? You put in a key code or whatever. They have it on their garage. They have it on their front door. My son wanted to get one. I was like, nope, I'm not doing it. I'm not getting locked out of our own house. And anyone, absolutely anyone, could come and get in if they want. Actually, this is not flickering. I'm just not used to there being quite a few of you commenting at the same time. Ken say it's always listening. Yep. Fury says, yeah, a Chinese guy who opened it with his Mexican wife. How cool is that? Like Dunnan Smart is access to your entire network. That one device can access anything on it and use push notifications. I always turn off push notifications. Easily hacked. Fury says, one time I ordered those things, you know, the beef in little folded tortillas with the squeeze of lime. Okay, was that an enchilada? Was there sauce on it? Or was it a taquito? Probably a taquito. Graham says, computers track us. They look out for certain words that then start recording. Okay, I'm going to turn this around, you guys. Where is that turnaround button? Here's my laptop. I put the little thing, I forgot I had that open to turn off the camera's not looking. So I try to do that to all our devices that have a camera except for my phone. Like Dennis is true. I can type 84 words per minute. Lucky I'm being lazy. Blindfolded. QWERTY was one of my first languages. Are you younger, like Dunnan, or older? Because my son, yeah, his first language would be a keyboard. I remember I went to a parent-teacher conference, and the teacher was explaining how they had to do their final on the tablet. And I'm like, how much time is he going to have? And she told me, and I'm like, well, I hope my son can answer all the questions in that amount of time. Because I'm thinking my son doesn't know the keyboard, right? That he's going to take forever trying to spell out his answer, type out his answer. And the teacher's like, oh no, they work on this tablet every day. I was like, oh, okay. Like, Dunnan is almost 40. Graham says, when you block a camera, it then takes an infrared photo instead. There's no excuse. What does that mean, Graham? There's another thing I need to block. Like Dunnan says, the screen was covered in class and any deletion was registered, and we were told to not delete, as 5 points off in seeing progress of knowing what we are typing. Furious says, no, the little tacos folded in half like a canoe with marinated beef and onions. Oh, they're tacos, yes. Is it true the camera takes a picture every 10 seconds or so? Wouldn't that drain your battery, though? A lot? My phone can stay charged. There was a point in time when I didn't really get on social media. My phone would stay charged for like 3 days, my smartphone. And then it says, inconceivable to the human eye. But who's collecting it and why? That's what I'm saying. There's so many of us with devices. Graham says, iPhones are really bad for it. Takes infrared photo every 5 seconds. Like Dunnan says, it does not. It does, but battery updates from Apple kill batteries, and then they offered a battery upgrade. And data is valuable. Oh my goodness, it's 10:30. I've been on here over an hour. Time goes by fast. Time goes by fast when you're enjoying conversation. Knowledge is power. Same thing. I would rather have knowledge than money. Because if you have knowledge, then you can make the money. Furious says, I asked the woman to make it like she would in Mexico if her uncle came over for dinner. It was spicy. Furious. That is too hilarious. McDunnan says, there is no knowledge without power. And McDunnan says, thank you, Mortal Kombat. Graham says, same here. You got it, Vanessa. Because, okay, there are a lot of people out there who do have a lot of money, but they are not very smart. And then they go through the money, and then they become these bankrupt stories. Is that what? And it is sad. Okay, earlier I was thinking about that phrase, which involves money, but I replaced it with Jesus. I got Jesus on my mind. My mind is on Jesus. Is that how it goes? mind. I got Jesus on my mind on Jesus. Something like that. Okay. Oh my goodness. I'm still laughing at Furious's last comment. Okay, that's kind of like, it was New Year's Eve, and it's our Mexican tradition to make menudo. Well, someone had brought over a spicy salsa, and my dad likes spicy stuff. So my dad served his bowl of menudo, and he put a whole bunch of the spicy salsa, not knowing it was spicy. And he could not eat his menudo. He told my brother, "Give this to the dog." So then he had to serve himself another bowl. And see, me, I always taste a little bit before I go scooping all kinds of salsa. Oh, Lagdana makes fire roasted salsa. Graham said dog tacos. Yeah. So that sounds like what happened to you, Furious. Instead of saying put the salsa on the side or whatever, you just had it all. You had it all on your taco. I forgot all about that until you put that comment. Fury says, still it must feel weird talking to people who are just typing, especially the first time. I would have needed a serious dose of alcohol to get started. It is weird because when I first went live, I don't think that I even was watching people who went live. So it was all new to me. I kind of heard about live streaming, and I was like, let me look into this, let me try. And it was awkward, but I've shared with you guys that when I was younger, I was the only girl. I didn't have a sister. So I would sit in my room and talk to myself. I would sit in front of the mirror, talk to myself when I'm getting ready. I'm like, so talking on my device on a live stream is normal for me. Graham says he likes spicy food, though I still want to keep my taste buds. And Fury says it's kind of like you're talking to yourself. Must have felt pretty weird for Juan Pablo to see you chatting with your phone. Actually, I think it was normal for him too to see me, but sometimes I watch YouTube videos. For instance, I have this older lady. She puts on her makeup and she chit chats, and I enjoy watching her videos. So I'm having my lunch, and my son happened to walk in, and I had the phone like right in front of me. He thought I was doing a live stream, and he thought he didn't want to pass behind the camera. I was like, no, I'm watching a video. He's like, oh, I thought she was talking to you. Like Denon says, onion cut, red bell pepper, and green onto a flat grill. Use phase 2. Oil butter over it and cover pan to keep it moist. While that goes, You flip it and recover fresh garlic. Crush it. Onion, red bell pepper, green. See, when I make any salsa, I use jalapeno. Ooh, there was lightning. Or, you guys hear that? Or poblano pepper when I make chile relleno. Oh my. I thought the thunder was gone, but it is loud. Good time, says Graham. It's good to talk, especially to yourself. Try not to argue with yourself. Well, I feel like I have the good, the good angel and then the bad. Sometimes I do that. And I'm like, I look at the bad, I'm like, not today. Not today. Go away. Like Denon says, it's easier to show than to explain. Fury says, well then, if you were talking to your reflection without vodka, I guess it went over smoothly. Like Denon is a prep cook. Graham says, moist, can you say that again, please? Like Denon says, I can do roux for red enchilada sauce, for beef enchilada, or green sauce. I started making my own enchilada sauce in the past few years, and I love it because you can change the flavor up, the texture, whatever you feel like that day. Like Denon, I love to cook. Seeing the faces of those enjoying it is payment enough. Good for you, like Denon. You like a spicy chimney. I was thinking, what was I thinking? I grew up watching cooking shows with my babysitter, which was my great aunt. And I don't know if it's because I watched the shows or if it was already in me, but I do like cooking. I like kitchen stuff. Cooking channels is something I enjoy watching. Fury says, I once had a full-on argument with myself over a cringe situation at the bowling alley on a date. Okay, I don't do that in public, y'all. Like Dennis says, on some grilled shrimp tacos. Who is this person with the, I don't even know what they're saying. Like Dennis says, maybe a bit of garlic sauce and bacon. Garlic sauce. Graham says, moist, not a word you want to hear your mom say. Oh, goodness. Fresh avocado and feta. Lime sriracha sauce. Now we're talking another favorite of Lac Dunnan. Stop it, you're making me hungry. Okay. I don't speak the language that this person is writing. So I'm just going to remove them because there's no sense in them being here. Fury says, a suitor from Al-Qaeda. Al-Qaeda. I don't know how to say that. Who can top that? Your success is international. Oh my goodness. That is too funny. You know, it is so interesting though. I have learned many different ways to roast. I learned that you can roast inside your oven toaster oven. You can roast in the oven. You can obviously roast over a fire. One lady used her comal, which is like a grill, and she had a tip to put foil down, and then she roasted her chilies on that. Graham says, you carry it on if you want, I'm only messing. And Lac Dunnan says, I know, but it's making me hungry too. Like, on an island talking about your favorite food when you get off that island. I could watch cooking shows and not get hungry. I enjoy watching people cook and bake. And kitchen utensils and stuff was my weakness, but I've learned to not spend unless I absolutely have to. But I do have a little bit of regret because I lived in a house and I moved into an apartment a few years ago, and I gave away more than half of my stuff, which included the bundt pan, the all kinds, the special little pans and pots and dishes. I gave away a lot of that. I'm just making do with what I have. I haven't bought any too much items. Graham says I see it then want to eat it. Like Dennis says, I split the mayonnaise into two portions from 4 gallons to 4 buttermilk ranch and other 2 for garlic sauce. You like lime rice. Okay. I was feeling a little bit fancy, a little bit richy at one point last year. And I was purchasing those meals that, what was it called? It was called Every Plate. And it was like the lower end of a more expensive company, which I can't think of the name. Anyways, you go on a website, you select what meals you want to make. I would always just pick 3 for 2 people. And they deliver to your house in an insulated bag-ish thing all the ingredients you would need to make the meals you selected with the recipe card. It was so much fun. So I learned how to make lime rice. It's enough for 15 people. If interested, try Fuzzy Tacos Shop. Graham says that's a lot of messing about. Rather have a corned beef and salad cream sandwich. So I collected all of the recipes. I would try a different recipe every week. And I've saved all my recipe cards. And I would be so upset because sometimes they would not send the recipe card. And they're like, you can download it from the website. I'm like, it's not the same. And I would be so upset. Because the recipe card was like on a hard stock paper. It was colorful. It had like that shiny, glossy look to it. It wasn't a flat paper. I was like, it's not the same. If it looks like a taco and smells like a fish, it must be one delicious, delicious dish. That sounds like Dr. Seuss. Corned beef is good. Fried spam on the fly. I eat for one, so I don't make much at home. Yeah, the Every Plate. Oh, wait a minute. The expensive company of Every Plate is HelloFresh. So you probably have heard HelloFresh, but not Every Plate. It's less expensive, but very similar. I don't even know how I came across it. El Steven. Hi, Vanessa of the Mariposa Mountains of the Northern Tribes of Judah. You know what, El Steven? I think you used to come here a long time ago. I had not seen you a long time. I think. Am I right? Okay, the emoji foreign language person is back. I don't mind cooking for myself, but it's very difficult to cook for my son and I because he's picky, and I end up making him the same things over and over. I like to have a variety, but he won't try stuff. Like Dunning cooks for many. Gary says, tell me a personal question. Have you ever had that who's that girl moment while you were in a relationship? What does that mean, Furious? Are you talking about, yeah, can you explain that? Like Dennis says, just give me a sandwich, some ham and cheese, and I'm good. Because I'm going to move to a different spot. Hold on. I'm not comfortable where I'm at, where I've been for a little while here. Let me move. Oh, goodness. Let me move that out of the way. Okay, now I'm sitting over here on my comfy chair. Ham and cheese. Oh, I like a good ham and cheese sandwich myself. L. Steven, long time no see. Yes, I'm subscribed to your channel, but I haven't seen you live in a while. Oh, yeah, I've been here every day, but I do have a different schedule than I used to. Graham says Vanessa likes men, so rearrange the question. Okay, let me, while he retypes, I'm talking about an argument over some hottie who swayed a little too close to your boyfriend. I may have when I was younger, at least once, but I am very confident in who I am. And if someone is looking at another woman or getting close to another woman, I'm like, bye. I'm not here to compete with anyone. And maybe I need to change my attitude about that, but no. If that would be a situation, that's not the right person for me. Nick says Graham Vanessa does not look like a man. No, he said that I'm not into women. Right, Graham? Graham says, I know what he meant, though. It was funny how it was typed. It was a little bit funny. Or a coworker texting at 1 a.m. Yes, I had that in a relationship when I was younger. Yes, I was in a relationship with someone who, they just were not respectful of me. They didn't know what boundaries were, apparently. So we would have a lot of discussions about that, and that is probably a huge reason why we're not together. Maybe, if I really think about it. Because yes, it was a late night text, and I'm like, I text you late and you don't respond back to me, but you're responding to this person. Lack Dunnan says Graham was referring to attraction, and Graham says, Nick, what are you talking about? Oh yeah, Nick, what are you talking about? Like Dennis says, yes, text is sometimes how we read it and how it puts into context. Yeah. It is. You never know what the tone is behind the text, and sometimes we will assume what the tone is, and it can come out two ways. The same text can be received many ways, right? I actually took a training on communication. Well, I had a class too, a college class, but I recently took a communication class at work, and it was interesting how you just have to make sure you receive, you, what is it called? For instance, if someone is giving you instructions, relay it back to them what you understood. That way you're on the same page. Because if you just receive the instruction and go off and do the work, you could probably spend so much time doing the wrong thing. So it's so important to have good communication. You're right, Black Dunnan. Our own state of mind can set the tone, and it could be meant as good but read as bad. Graham says, yes, sometimes it's not about what they say, though how they say it, just like the N-word. Oh my goodness. I have been getting into politics because of who our president is, and I guess the latest controversy from our president is how he is going to museums and wanting them to take the woke out. And so there are a group of people who are not happy with that. Like Dunnan says, Texas to be given a leeway of wait. Make sure they meant it this way. And Graham says no. All the show, the illusion of choice. Thunder, thunder, lightning. There's a song. Assuming makes, yes, it does. Oh my goodness. I don't know why, but I could sit there and watch. For instance, right now, today on the news, they were showing California. They were showing them having their meeting. I don't even know what it's called. All their senators or Congress people having their meeting. It's just like ridiculous. Like Dunnan says, guilty here. Fury says, okay, so no cooking for replying to Rebecca's message at bedtime. Only calm, classy reactions. Cool, cool. I'm not sure what you're trying to say, Furious. Like Dennis says, some are saints, though, always giving the benefit of the doubt, so it exists. Yeah, whenever I had was a supervisor over the my group of people, I would tell them, please come to me and ask me a question, even if you think it's a dumb question, a silly question. I would rather you ask to get your project right than to do it and have wasted time. Oh my goodness, it's 11. I'm not even tired right now. But whenever I do go to sleep, I'm going to sleep good. Changing the subject, what do you got going on in your life? Where are you in your life? And where do you want to be? Okay, Denon, I do believe this is your first time here. So let me give you the elevator speech. I follow Jesus Christ, who's the truth and the way to everlasting life, ever since I was 9 years old. I'm not perfect. I have gone astray, but I always come back. I'm a single mom to a teenage boy. I have created a really great life for my son and I. We have not struggled. I grew up struggling where our light would get turned off, the water would get turned off, we would run out of gas and have to push the car. My child does not know those struggles, even though I've been a single mom basically his whole life. I did go to college before I had my son, so I earned my master's degree in business administration. I quit my full-time job last December. I was unemployed by choice for a few months, and then I decided to get a part-time job, which is where I'm at right now. And I decided to go back to college because I do want to change careers. I think they say every 15 years you should change up your life. So I feel like this is the time. And I'm going into criminal justice because I don't know if I want to be a judge, if I want to be a politician, or if I want to be a forensic accountant or an investigator. I don't know. We'll see where it goes. But I like to always be doing something. My life has to be productive. That's my elevator speech. Fury says, yeah, I saw the smoke coming out of your ears while you were reading my comment. What I was saying is that you react in a wise and classy way to shady couple situations. Thank you. I try. I try to be calm, be still. I try to listen before I react. Graham says, anyway, I identify as an orange. Graham, my cousin does too. Squeeze the juice, Graham. No, she says when someone asks about her shape or whatever, she says she's round like an orange. Graham says my pronouns are squeeze and juice. Oh my goodness, Graham. Fury says, don't talk to me anymore, Graham. I identify as a racist lemon. Lack Dunnan says, concentrate. And Graham says, furious. Like Dunnan says, I was thinking a paralegal and eventually a lawyer to stand up for the little man. Then again, maybe construction, as I know how to use an acetylene cutting torch, plasma cutter, and welder. Oh, cool. Hard to decide on a trade school. You know what? My son has an amazing opportunity. While he goes to high school, he is now in his second year at a vocational school learning to be a welder. So by the end of his second year at that school, he will have a certification for welding. And I was looking at a commercial today. It's a trade school that was advertising welding, and it said, I was trying to remember, it was like, welders make everything that we enjoy, something like that. It was really catchy. I just don't remember it now. And Lack Dunnan says, maybe a forklift loader while I still try to decide. What I really want to do is own my own business. I just don't know what that would be. I'm praying on it. MIG or TIG. I don't know what that means, Graham. Oh, he's talking about the welding, I bet. Is that what it is? You guys are talking welding talk or something? Oh my goodness, who's that person? Why do people like to be annoying? I don't know, I don't know. But I don't believe in limiting myself at all. I could decide to go a whole different route from this and not do criminal justice. I might decide to be an air traffic controller because those are in high demand right now at the airports. I might decide to go into the medical field. I was thinking if I go that route, I might want to do some stuff with skin because I like skincare. Joaquin is back. Okay, maybe plumbing. Don't kick him out. I don't understand him, Furious, so there's no point in him being here. And Jesus still loves you. Amen. But we aren't limited. And Joaquin is back. Roll the red carpet out. He said, amen, brother. No, a lot of people, this is my observation. They limit themselves. They don't challenge themselves to do better, to be better. They're happy with just doing the same thing all the time. I gotta change it up all the time, y'all. I like change. And it stems, for me, it's kind of biblical when I decide to change up my job or move. Because if I stay in this little area, I limit who I can help to this little group. But if I was here and then I went here and I went there and I went there and I made a change, at least even just one person, that's what it's about for me. Graham says, oh, I read that. Glory be to the Most High. Alleluia. Alleluia. What? Have you heard about the case of Dr. Ban al-Iraq? No, I have not. Here says, Joaquin, you seem like a nice guy. Do you work? Are you hardworking, handy, and a devout Christian who holds doors open for women? Just asking. Graham says, I don't like change. I'm a creature of habit. I know what I like and I stick with it. Furious. Okay, Furious, I found a female on my channel who she does try to find somebody for me as well. Have you heard? I've already answered the question. Leave me alone. Okay, guys, now I'm getting silly. I think she was on here earlier. Her name is Angelica. Furious, none of those questions actually matter. Oh, goodness. I mean, Furious is asking questions that I would want to know. Joaquin says, yes, I love God and I have 4 beautiful daughters and 5 boys. And I'm a man of God, so I do open. Oh my goodness. You've got 9 kids? Did I read that right? Oh my. Fury says, yo, finish your sentences quickly. You said I found a female and I jumped. I wasn't sure how to say that. One of my subscribers is a female and she likes to ask if anyone is single on here. Graham says, Fury is looking to cheat on your wife or something. Are you single? Oh, Lord. How do you raise 9 kids in today's world? That's what I want to know. I mean, you can't even fit 9 kids in one car. So you have to have a really huge van or have 2 cars. Fury says, nope. And Joaquin says, by the power of God. And Graham says, you don't unless you're a billionaire. Oh no. I think when you have to drive 2 cars, that's just too much. That's too many kids. Joaquin, are you also on government assistance? Oh my goodness. Furious, or Graham says to Furious, why not? Yeah, I think Furious was asking the questions for me. Joaquin says, no ma'am, I work hard, 12-hour shifts, nights, and I make good money. Good for you, Joaquin. Fury says, but Joaquin, 9 kids with all the love of the Lord. There's absolutely nothing I can do for you. I think the most kids that I've seen around here in a family is 4 or 5. Graham says, Furious, want to swap your wife for my girlfriend or a while. She's doing my head in. Oh no, Graham. What's going on? Joaquin says, and the Lord is my shepherd and he's not done with me or my family. Actually, there is a family that I know. I think her oldest child is in their 20s, well in their 20s, and she was still having a baby. But she's got like one after the other after another. And they do have to drive. Well, now that the older kids drive, they drive their cars, and then she's got a Suburban or whatever. Hey, Lively Cuts. Yeah, it is late, right? It is Friday Eve. I'm celebrating. Plus, there was thunder, and I wanted to share that with you guys, but I don't know if anyone could hear when it was happening. Yeah, what are you doing up this late? Because you're like 2 or 3 hours ahead of me. Joaquin says my oldest is 21 and his youngest is 4. Okay, now I'm starting to yawn, y'all. Furious is 12-hour shift with 9 kids. I'm surprised you're not doing even more. Plus the side hustle doing. Furious. Oh my goodness. Joaquin says, and I'm a grandfather. Oh wow. Graham says, Vanessa, she wants us to live together and has been asking about whether or not I want more children. She's moving a bit fast at the moment. I was going to say, how long have you guys been together? Okay. It's good to know if you want children or not. I mean, that's something you should know right away. But to move in, that does seem quick. Joaquin says he used to. Oh. Well, I'm glad you belong to Jesus now. Well, there are some people who move in even sooner than that, Graham. And I'm like, are you real? For real? You know this person well enough to move in with them already. Lively says, I was going to look up a recipe and saw you were live. What recipe are you looking for, Lively? Graham says, yeah, they always try and trap me fast. Oh, no. Furious says, Joaquin, personal question. How many baby mamas? If you say 9, you're officially disqualified. Joaquin says, don't do it. Oh, he has 3. Well, then that is his personal question. Furious, do you have any kids? I think you don't, but yeah, personal question. Furious, do you have kids? Joaquin says he loves all his babies. Oh, that sounds interesting, Lively. Strawberry shortcake pancakes. Your dogs. Okay. Oh, Graham likes the personal questions. Okay, when they come from Furious, they make me highly concerned when he says personal question. Joaquin says they are blessings from God. Amen to that. Yes. Especially when you know how many women try to have children and they cannot. That's when you know, that's when it makes you be more grateful for your children. Joaquin, are you single at the moment, or are you with one of your baby mamas? Joaquin says, I'm literally getting emotional just thinking of all of them and how much they mean to me. Aw. I kind of wish my son's father was like that, but my son's father has lived by choice states away from my son for a long time. You have a sweet tooth, Lively? Furious says at first Graham seemed great, and then he started selling himself like he was a damn life insurance policy. Oh my goodness. Oh, you meant Joaquin. I was like, oh my goodness. Oh, you're engaged. Have you ever been married before? Will this be your first marriage? Do you guys have a wedding date? uh, all right, y'all. This has been fun, but I think I'm going to call it a night. Okay, so you've been engaged before, but it'll be your first marriage. I wish the best to you, Joaquin. This was fun, y'all. Thanks for hanging out with me. I hope you have a beautiful, blessed rest of your day. Yep, Graham, I agree. And I send y'all with peace and know that Jesus Christ loves you the most. See y'all next time.